Welcome to this class on microethics. We probably do not need to explain why we're talking about ethics in a course of corporate social responsibility, but certainly we have to explain why microethics. It is micro because we will not be talking about the big issues. We will not be talking about the ethics of dilemmas, about putting an end to one's own life, about which of two friends would you like to throw off the building if you had to choose, if you had a gun pointed at your head. We talk about microethics, the ethics of little things, the ethics we practice every day if we want to look at responsibility, at organizational responsibility that is for everybody. And we see that organizational responsibility is for everybody. That is why we have here the picture of Joseph Stalin. It's an indicator of a metaphor I frequently use. That is the metaphor of the barber of Stalin. The barber of Stalin is a member of an organization, of a huge organization in the state and in the bureaucracy that serves the dictatorship of Stalin, and he thinks he has no responsibility. Presumably, we think he's not aware he has any responsibility in the workings of the state that Stalin is running. However, the barber of Stalin is working on Stalin's mustache, and which is an important element of the charisma of Stalin himself. So, as far as he is concerned, even the barber is giving his little contribution to what Stalin is and what Stalin is doing. Therefore, even the barber of Stalin has its share of responsibility on what Stalin is doing. This is a metaphor for the responsibility that is for everybody, and which leads to the concept of personal social responsibility in organizations. When we hear people saying it's the system's fault, people are not giving me the good tools to work, it's the organization that is not working, and so forth. That might be true. However, we have to assume that within the realm of social responsibility, of corporate social responsibility, of organizational responsibility, also the person who is talking has some responsibility, and he or she, they have the responsibility to look for what it's in their power to be doing and to be contributing to the working of the organization. This can be shown also in reports, maybe in some sobriety of reports. Oftentimes in reports we read words that are just cut and paste from other people's reports. Okay? That's one little action that can be spared us, the readers, or that we can spare ourselves when we are the writers of CSR reports. Let's see what are the other elements of microethics. As I said, it's microethics because doesn't involve dilemma orientation. It does not involve also problem solving, but it is about an attitude of working within the corporation, within the organization, a cooperative attitude. The acid test of our CSR actions and our CSR reporting is the peers' considerations of it. Okay, we want to earn the consideration of the peers in the organization, and they tend to be very much critic, and we want to be serious about it. At least we want to avoid the scathing criticism to phrases that are sometimes not very meaningful and that we read in CSR reports. Homework. There is a questionnaire also for this fourth value. Please work on that. It's at the end of chapter 8. And start reading chapters 2 and chapter 9, because we will be working and wrapping this all up next class. These 4 values we have been working on. What is the CSR that all of this delivers us with? Okay? So let's see the summary of this. The summary of this class is that we are getting a grasp of the relationship between the individual and the organization. We are positioning the individual within the organization because things in the end are done by individuals. We will see also more of this, but organizations don't exist per se. They only exist as many individuals exist. Maybe they have a common culture, maybe they have a common way of doing things. Nonetheless, they all have an individual responsibility. And this is the paradigm we are taking. We are taking an individualist paradigm which assumes that individuals do have their own responsibility vis-a-vis a collective, more diffuse responsibility, which may also be there, but we work more on the first part of it. Thank you very much for today.